Hey, good morning. Come on over this way. Come on. Come on. Come over here. Lay down. Lay down, pretty. Yeah, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. How y'all doing? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Okay, they say people are on the way. Welcome to the chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. For sure. We're gonna abide. We're gonna do what we're supposed to do. Right, my Tootie? Come here. Come here. Come here. Good morning, y'all. We got a good show today. We got a co-host today. Maybe she stays. Maybe she don't. I think she's gonna stay today. She kind of like me. Ooh, I think she like me. We're gonna get these cameras right where we need them. Right on the edge of where we need them. Bam, 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 bam. Good morning. Blessings to everybody that's coming. Blessings to you. Blessings to your family. Blessings to everything around you. Blessings to you, little Sue. Hey, little Sue. How you doing, baby? I got your hair on me way up here, and you haven't even been way up there. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Yes, yes, yes. We have a good topic today. Do y'all know what it means to be united? You know, it's the state of being together. Do y'all know what unity is? Does anybody know what unity is? We seem to have a hard time these days in this world understanding how to be united for any reason at all, whether it's family, friends, co-workers, whatever it is. Unity is what makes this happen. And without it, we're not in alignment. And we need to be in alignment to make changes on this planet. We can't just let the 1% keep changing the planet for us, because when they change things, it's not for us. It's for them. So today's show is Controlled, episode 85. I am Master Christian. This is your behind the chair co-host, Susie Spaniel. And we're here today to talk about what? You heard me the first time. Unity. That's what we kicking off with. Different doesn't have to mean divided. Just because you're different, that don't mean that you got to be separate or divided. We can still work together. You don't understand? This is Controlled, episode 85, the show about human and animal behavior. I am your host, Master Christian, and let's go. Today's show is presented to you by Master Christian LLC. We hope that you can stay, follow, subscribe, like, share, and support the show so we can make more shows. 85 days in a row, and we're going to keep on pushing. But today's show, unity. We live in a world where people are consistently being told to pick a side. Why are we picking a side? If somebody thinks different, lives differently, communicates differently, or sees the world differently, we are encouraged to treat them that different is like a threat. But difference is not the enemy of unity. Division is. And we can be different. You can be different. You can wear your hat like this. It's cool. You can wear your hat like this. It's cool. You can wear your hat like this or no hat at all. It's all different. But when we start dividing, because I speak like this and you speak like that, and I think like this and you think like that, when we start dividing things up, that's a problem. What's happening, y'all? Yeah, so what's the problem about? Division is the problem. Unity is the solution. United we stand, divided we fall. And we falling for any and everything these days. And the people that are against us, they stand unified. See, they understand, especially the authority, when they take these jobs, they got to watch each other's backs. We have a responsibility to watch each other's backs as well. That's a responsibility of life to watch each other's backs. If you didn't know, now you know. Yeah, where we at? Families divide, communities divide, workplaces divide, friendships divide. Even people who want the same outcome can become enemies because they disagree about how to get there. When the need to win becomes stronger than the desire to understand, everybody loses something. Yeah, we want the same goal, but we can't decide how to get there. Your way is better, my way is better, his way is better. How about we work together and find the best way to get to the goal? Because we're suffering out here with all this division. It's not cool. It's not cool. Today we are going to separate unity from sameness. We will look at why people divide, what cooperation actually requires, and how animals survive through coordinated behavior, and what each one of us can do to become a force that brings people together without surrendering who we are. And we want to bring the people together, right? I want to bring the people together. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you. Yeah, I want to bring the people together. We need to be together. We need to be helping each other. We think it's about money. They've made it about class. They've made it about race. They've made it about sex. We all just unique beings on a planet, right, Sue? Come here, Sue. Unique beings on a planet. Come here, Sue. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here, sweet Susie. You see, me and Susie got to be on the same page because Susie liked to be on her page. And she said, here you go, girl. Sue, Tutu. She said I need to be on her page. So I'll be on her page. You see that? I'm going to be on her page. That's how we work it. My page doesn't have to be the only page we can be on. We can share pages. It's a book. Let's be right. When you hear the word unity, do you think of people agreeing or people working together? Just because we agree does not make us unified. Working together at a common goal for each other, that's where we get unified. We don't got to be the same. Unity does not mean everybody has the same opinion, background, personality, strengths, benefits, or experiences. Unity means that our differences do not automatically become the reasons we destroy the relationship or the shared purpose. Shared purpose. That's what we got to have in this life. And what purpose do we share as human beings? We share the purpose that we have to move this needle forward. And we have to teach the children better so they can have a better future than we have. Yeah, that's what we need to be united on. We need to be united on things that move into the next generations. But the way I see it, the powers that be have set a lot of roadblocks up for us. Unity is not sameness. One of the biggest mistakes we make is confusing unity with uniformity. Uniformity says, be like me. Unity says, bring what you have and let's determine what we can build together. A healthy group does not erase individuality, it coordinates individuality. That's what you can still be an individual and be part of this game with somebody. It doesn't mean you gotta lose who you are. You gotta be who you are. Be the best who you are. Like I said, if you a back hatter, if you a front hatter, a side hatter, a mid hatter, we still hatters. And if you're not a hatter at all, it doesn't matter. That's the thing. We can be united through a smile. We can be united through just wanting to be united in the same book. You can't be on page 31 in your book and I'm on page 31 in my book. We got to share the book. Make the book bigger if that's what we got to be in the same book, because that is when things start getting done. And we want to complete things, right? We want to have high percentages of success, right? It comes from working together. That's why I'm here sharing this information with you, because I want to give it to you so you can use it. Now we're working together. If you have information for me, give it to me so I can use it. Now we're working together. We got to share. Sharing is caring. You didn't know? Think about any strong team. If everybody had exactly the same skill, the team would be limited. We need people who can lead, people who can analyze, people who can execute, people who notice danger, people who can communicate, and people who can hold the group together. Differences become valuable when it is connected to a common purpose. So let's look at a team. Let's look at a basketball team. You need a point guard, you need a shooting guard, you need a small forward, you need a strong forward, and you need a center on a basketball team. Each one of these positions brings something different to the table. But when you put them all together, it makes you have a team that can be strong, that can play their positions, and everybody is playing for the same goal. The goal is to win the game. What's your position? We all can't be the point guard. And some of us need to sit on the bench and just be part of the team, because the bench sitters are very integral too, because sometimes people got to sub out. Sometimes people just need motivation coming from the side. We got to work this the best way we can work it in team effort. The team is the dream. That's how this thing goes. Two parents can have different personalities but share the same goal of raising a healthy child. Two employees can disagree on a method while still being committed to the success of the company. Neighbors can have completely different backgrounds and still cooperate to make their community safer. This is how it works together. You might not understand what I'm telling you to do with your animals. You might not even believe in it. But if you try it and it makes your life better, we're sharing. And like I said, if you have something for me to try, put it in the chat. I can do it. I'm with it. We can work together at all times. You just got to want to work together. I've come here to offer that opportunity to work together. If you want to learn how to train dogs, masterchristian.com. Hit me up. I'll teach you. No problems. In the wolf family, every animal does not perform every behavior at the same moment. Movement, vigilance, care of young, play, hunting, resting, and social communication are coordinated. Cohesion does not require identical behavior. It requires behavior that works within the group. So yeah, we don't gotta be the same. We might look the same. We might walk the same, talk the same. Hopefully not, because we like being individuals. And I've been to New York. When I was a kid, I started in New York. My auntie lived in the Bronx. And, you know, I got to see a lot of different individuals at the same time. Everybody is doing, if I bend my hat this way, he got to bend his hat this way. Everybody, because there's so many people. But that doesn't mean you're not a New Yorker. See, that's where the unity comes in. The New Yorker was the unity. The person just wanted to be an individual. But when you call them New Yorkers out, yeah, you got New Yorkers. You saw this year when they won the NBA championship, the New Yorkers came out. They didn't care what borough they was from. They didn't care if they was even from Jersey. They came out to support New York, New York. And that's how it works. If you want to work it like that, you want to be a team player, that's all we got. We are the human race. And we are racing towards the finish line, each and every one of us. Let's run this race together. This is a marathon that we're running. It's not a sprint. And we can always decide to join forces and work on something better than our own selves. Unity does not ask us to become identical. It asks us to become intentional about what we can do together. Have you ever rejected somebody's contribution because they did not do things your way? What difference in another person could actually make your team, family, community stronger? We looking for differences because everybody doesn't have the answers. Everybody doesn't have that movement that you want. I told you, you need a point guard to bring that ball up the floor. You need a quarterback to quarterback your team. You need a goalie to stop the ball from going in the net. You need a batter at the plate to hit a home run. You need a catcher to catch the ball. All of these different things, yo. Even in individual sports, you still need managers. You need bag carriers. You need people on the side, the cut man. Even in individual sports, there's still team effort. There's still unity. Even if you're on stage, it's effort. It's team unity. The team and the team working together is where you find your wins at. How division becomes a behavior. Division is not always caused by major conflict. It is often built through small repeated behaviors, refusing to listen, assuming motives, talking about people instead of talking to them, keeping score, competing for attention, needing the last word, and turning every disagreement into a question of loyalty. We can disagree without being disloyal. Yeah, you need the last word every time. This competition is always competitive. If we're going to be in a competition, that means we can't work together because you're on the other team. We can be competitive in what we do, but when it all comes down to it, we got to work together. If we're not working together, we're working against each other, and now we're pit against each other as enemies. We got to work together. I only want team players around here, not just players. You can't just be a player. The dangerous part of it is these behaviors can become reinforced. If anger gets attention, we use more anger. If attacking someone earns approval from our group, attacking someone becomes easier. The compromise makes us feel powerful. Stubbornness can begin to feel like strength. Behavior that is rewarded tends to repeat. Y'all see this in life? People acting bad, they get rewarded. Folks is high-fiving them. They happy to see them hurt or treat somebody badly. Oh, everybody's laughing at the joke that was made about you. Yeah, that's not cool. We got to get to a place where we can look out for each other. Because if we're not looking out for each other and we're just looking out for number one, that's a lonely world. No man is an island. And that's not how anything's going to work, because we do have some unified people playing against us. They gave them names. They're called the government. They're called authority. They're called the enemy. It's a lot of different names for people that's working against you. So you might want to get together and be unified and stand together instead of keep on falling for all these things. A disagreement begins over one decision. Instead of discussing the decision, both people begin collecting evidence that the other person is the problem. Now the original issue is almost irrelevant. The new goal is proving who is right. At that point, the relationship is serving the conflict instead of the conflict serving a solution. We want solutions out here, right? What you saying over here? Oh, we got stickers. Yeah, we want solutions. Your conflict needs to serve a solution so we can get over it and get to something new and understand why my opinion was this and your opinion was that. But we found a solution so we can close the loop. Let's see. Social animals constantly use signals to regulate distance, tension, assess, play, submission, warning, and reconciliation. Ignoring signals can escalate conflict. Responding appropriately can prevent unnecessary injury. Communication is not decoration in a social system. It is part of survival. Communication is part of survival because you want to survive in the wild. Division grows when being right becomes more important than getting it right. Yeah, we want to get it right. I don't got to be right all the time. I don't care about that. But we want to get it right because when we get it right, we do better. We move better. It's a better life to get it right. What behavior do you use when you feel challenged? Listening, withdrawing, attacking, or change? You're trying to understand. Have you ever continued a conflict long after you forgot what started it? People do that all the time. They stay in the conflict and they don't even remember why we even arguing. What was the problem? Who did what? Because they want to be in the conflict so bad because it feels good. I'm going to win. I'm going to show them today. I'm going to beat you today. Not today. But today, subscribe, follow, like, share, support. $Master CT. That's all we got to do. If you need help with your dog, masterchristian.com. Run it. We got it. Animals Today News, Controlled, episode 85, Unity. This is Animals Today. Today's stories are completely different from the previous lineup. New animal behavior, conservation, rescue, technology, and wildlife stories from around the world. We got to get it from around the world. Amazon canopy bridges record 15,000 wildlife crossings. They done built canopy bridges in the Amazon. Come here, girlie. Get over here. Get in here. Oh, you can stop right there. Okay, you're going to stop right there on the sideline. Wildlife bridges installed high above roads in the Brazilian Amazon have recorded roughly 15,000 crossings by tree-dwelling animals over 15 months. Camera traps documented 6 primate species using the structures, and researchers reported no roadkill at the monitored bridge sites during this study period. Roads can divide habitats even when forests remain on both sides, but animals that spend much of their lives in trees come down to the ground level to cross the road can create an entirely new danger. A canopy bridge reconnects something humans separated. Oh, now we got the story. Humans been separating the forests. Humans been making roads where there were none. And that's why we got roadkill all the time, because things are running into the cars. Yeah. Conservation sometimes is less about moving animals and more about repairing the environment so animals can safely move themselves. Infrastructure and wildlife do not have to be enemies. Engineering, research, and animal behavior can work together. What would you change if every new road or development considered animal movement before construction instead of after animals start dying? What would you change? Yeah, if we're gonna build a road, we gotta take the animals in consideration. It is what it is. Because this road was not there. This road was somewhere where, they traveled, they lived, they ate, they had babies, they did everything. And now you put this big old road in here, and the water source might be on the other side of the road. That ain't cool, but it's what we do. I can't get stuck on it. It's what we do. We do some things that are not cool. If we were working together, we would figure out better solutions. So, but we human beings, I guess, do monkeys form pet-like relationships? A new scientific review examined 427 documented cases of primates interacting with animals from other species. Researchers are looking closely at behaviors that can resemble human-animal relationships, including repeated association, grooming, caring, protecting, and social interests. The important question is not whether a monkey understands the human word pet. Scientists are asking that motivates these cross-species relationships and what they reveal about attachment, social behavior, and the ability to form relationships outside its own species. So yeah, some monkeys are taking pets and treating them like we treat the dogs, the cats, and everything. That's what they do. Intelligence. Humans often treat cross-species bonding as uniquely human. Evidence from other primates pushes us to examine how the deep biological roots interspecies social relationships may be. Connection does not always stop at the boundaries of a species. If animals can form meaningful relationships beyond their own species, what does that teach us about our own tendency to divide ourselves into groups? Yeah, humans are divided up, and animals are forming interspecies relationships with other species. But we can't even form relationships with each other. What's up with that, y'all? Unity, U-N-I-T-Y. You need that. You got to get some of that. Thermal drones help prevent human-elephant conflict in Kenya. Thermal drones help prevent this. Conservation teams around Kenya's Ambrosi ecosystem are using thermal drones to detect elephants at night to help communities respond before encounters escalate. The region supports nearly 2,000 African elephants, but people and elephants are increasingly share landscapes where farms, homes, and wildlife movement overlap. At night, an elephant can be extremely difficult for a person on the ground to detect safely. Thermal imaging changes the information available to response teams. Instead of waiting until an elephant is already inside the farm or close to people, teams can potentially see movement earlier and make a more controlled decision. Human-wildlife conflict can kill both people and animals. Prevention is safer than reacting after fear. Property damage or injury has already occurred. Technology is being used not to defeat wildlife, but to help humans and wildlife share a landscape more safely. Okay, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm just going to keep moving. How many animal conflicts are really failures of planning, information, and environmental design? How many animal conflicts are really failures of planning? You didn't plan around the animals? That's what makes the conflict. New protection for one of the world's rarest crocodiles. Cambodia has established its first crocodile genetic conservation area to protect habitat important to critically endangered Siamese crocodile. The species once occupied a much larger range across Southeast Asia, but has been devastated by habitat loss, hunting, and collection. Devastated. We devastate these animals. Protecting an individual animal is not enough when the habitat and breeding population remains vulnerable. Genetic conservation looks beyond today's surviving crocodiles and asks whether the population has enough diversity and protected space to remain viable in the future. Apex predators can influence entire freshwater ecosystem, losing them changes more than one species. So when you lose an apex predator, other things change. You don't want to be in that. Government protection, local communities, habitat conservation, and species science must operate together. Saving the animal without saving the system around it will not work. Are we truly protecting the species if we save an individual animal but continue destroying the environment they need? We're not protecting the species at all. If we're destroying, we're destroying. Protection is protection. You got to work together and come up with some safe ways to protect these species. Not just take it all, take all the land. We're not even using all the land. We just holding it and trying to keep the animals up off of it. It's weird. Stop it. Come on, y'all. Humpback whale song may track what the whale is doing underwater. What? New research linked parts of humpback whale song structure with phases of the whale's dive behavior. Researchers found that song themes correspond with distinct portions of the dive cycle, offering another window into how complex vocal behavior and physical movement may be coordinated. Whale song has fascinated people for decades, but listening to sound without understanding the animal's movement gives us only part of the picture. Connecting acoustic recordings with dive behavior allows resources to ask when songs are produced, how they change during the movement, and what patterns they might mean. They're using the song to understand when the whale goes down and what the whale is doing, because the whale is using the song for sonar. We know this, right? Yeah. Understanding normal behavior is essential if scientists want to recognize how noise, vessel traffic, and environmental change may disrupt the whales. Yeah. Sound movement, physiology, and environment are parts of one behavioral system. Studying them together gives us better pictures than studying each one alone. We want to study what's going on with the whale. We want to study it so we can understand what's going on with the whale and why it's diving and what, all the factors that have to do with it, because we want to learn things, but still we need to learn how to work together. Them scientists are working together, the common people. That's who I'm reaching out to, my community here. Let's work together. The first step is, let's work together right here. Subscribe, follow, like, share, support. And then we can move on to bigger and better things, because I'm going to pull people in regardless. That's what I do. Pull you in, I hug you tight, I smile with you, I love you, and we make it better. Let's make it better for everybody. MasterChristian.com is where you find your dog training and your animal and human interaction safety standard needs. Go there, MasterChristian.com. It can help you a lot, a lot. Anyway, unity requires a purpose bigger than ego. Did we know that? Did we know that, man? Unity requires a purpose bigger than ego. Ego stops a lot of things. Because ego tell you, yo, I am, and I'm better, and we got time for ego. You can have a big ego. Shut it down a little bit so we can work together. And listen more than speak. Because somebody else might have the answer, or they might stimulate you to figure out the answer to the problem. But when we're just speaking and not listening, kind of hard to find out how to fix everything as a group. Yeah, people be wanting to do it on their own. I got it, we got it. Unity becomes possible when people can see something more important than themselves. Ego asks, who gets the credit? Purpose asks, did we accomplish the mission? Ego asks, whose idea is it? Purpose asks, is it a good idea? Ego protects status. Purpose protects the outcome. Simple as that. Purpose. Unity is a purpose. Ego is a separate thing that's running us, that we want all the credit for everything that goes on. And you can't live like that. That's not the way life works. It can work like that, but it's not fluid. It's not working together. It's kind of distractive and destructive. This does not mean accepting disrespect, abuse, dishonesty, or harmful behavior for the sake of keeping peace. Healthy unity requires standards. A group that refuses to address destructive behavior is not unified. Ergo, the United States. Let me say that again. A group that refuses to address destructive behavior is not unified. It may simply be avoiding conflict. Real unity can survive accountability. Man, it can survive. During an emergency, strangers often cooperate because the immediate purpose is obvious. In a business, departments perform better when they stop treating each other as competitors and recognize that the customer experiences one organization. In a family, the question can shift from who caused this to what do we need to do now. Don't matter who caused it. What we need to do now. How do we move on? Cooperative hunting species demonstrate a simple principle. The individual can sometimes accomplish more by coordinating with others than acting alone. Position, timing, communication, and response to the movements of others can determine whether a group can succeed. When they're hunting, they trap. So all the movements are coordinated. And if you're not on your game, you're going to mess up the hunt. So we all have to be on the same page for the hunt. The movement, the mission becomes bigger than ego. Cooperation has room to begin. Where in your life are you protecting your position instead of protecting the purpose? Can you disagree with someone and still recognize the value of what they contribute? No. Difference can become strength. Diversity by itself does not automatically create strength. Difference becomes strength when a group learns how to use it. Without communication and respect, differences can create friction. With cooperation, those same differences can expand what the group can see, understand, and accomplish. Imagine trying to solve a problem with 5 people who have exactly the same experience and make exactly the same assumptions. They may reach agreement quickly, but they can also miss the same danger. The person who sees the problem differently can be uncomfortable and extremely valuable. Yeah, everybody don't need to see the problem the same way. We're not going to get any solutions if we all see the problem the same way. One person is cautious and another person moves quickly. They can frustrate each other. But the cautious person may prevent a reckless decision, while the decisive person may prevent an endless delay. Unity does not require choosing one personality. It requires learning when each strength is needed. A honeybee colony is an extraordinary example of coordinated specialization. Workers perform different tasks as the colony's needs change: broad care, cleaning, guarding, food processing, and foraging. Let's see what else the colony needs. Foraging because individual activity contributes to a larger system. The difference becomes a weakness when they fight over it, and a strength when we learn how to use it. That's how this works in the honeybees. Do you feel comfortable around people who think like you? Do you feel comfortable around people who think like you? We all think the same. That ain't no fun. We all dress the same. That ain't no fun neither. Who in your life sees something in your routine? Who in your life sees something you routinely miss? Could the person who frustrates you also possess the strength you need? Yeah, you might be frustrated because they think different. Everybody can't think the same. Everybody can't see everything the same. When we start seeing everything the same, then we don't see what's wrong. And somebody needs to see what's wrong so they can bring it to the group. And it might be a few things wrong. Unity of all different types, all different colors, all different sizes. Unity is what makes things happen. Unity has become action. Unity is easy to praise and harder to practice. It requires behaviors, listening before reacting, asking before assuming, sharing responsibility, giving credit, communicating directly, respecting boundaries, repairing damage, and choosing cooperation when competition is unnecessary. Unity also requires courage because somebody often has to interrupt the cycle. Somebody has to make the first call, lower the temperature, and ask the question, admit a mistake, or refuse to participate in gossip. Waiting for everyone else to change first keeps division alive. Everybody's not going to change, and they're definitely not going to change first. That's how we keep division alive. That's how it happens, because we're waiting on everybody to change at the same time. That's not it. It doesn't work like that. At work, unity may mean sharing information instead of guarding it. In a relationship, it may mean discussing the real issue instead of punishing each other with silence. In a community, it may mean cooperation with someone you would never personally choose as a friend because the shared problem still needs to be solved. You got to work together with people. And silence doesn't fix the problem. It just makes everybody silent. Unity is not something we announce. It is something other people should be able to see in our behavior. We do not have to be the same to stand together. Difference is not automatic division. Mature people can maintain identity while cooperating around shared purpose. Purpose has to become bigger than ego. When winning, credit, pride, or control becomes the priority, the mission suffers. Who wants the credit? I got all this pride. I need to control this. The mission suffers. Unity is a behavior. Listening, communication, accountability, respect, contribution, and cooperation are what turn the idea of unity into something real. Listening, communication, accountability, respect, contribution, and cooperation are what turn the idea of unity into something real. What is one behavior you could change this week that will create more unity around you? Who have you treated like an opponent when they could have been a partner? Who? Somebody that does the same thing you do? You treated them like an opponent? But they could have been your partner. Y'all could have worked together and got it done twice as fast. But they could have. Nah. Okay. Unity is not agreement on everything. If agreement were required, unity would disappear. The movement of two people, unity would disappear the moment two people had different ideas. So if it meant about agreeing, we couldn't have unity, because the moment we have different ideas, it's gone. No, we gotta be able to be unified even if we have different ideas and work together to come up with a solution. That's where solutions are born. Division is often maintained by repeated behavior. If our actions keep feeding the conflict, good intentions will not fix it, because good intentions are your intentions, but your actions are the solid movements you make to keep that thing going. Every person affects the environment around them. You can add tension or stability, one or the other. You can add tension or stability. You can spread suspicion or understanding. You can make cooperation harder, or easier? Identify one person, group, family member, coworker, or neighbor with whom there is unnecessary distance. Do not begin by asking them to change. Ask yourself one question. What can I do differently that creates an opportunity for cooperation? You do not have to surrender your standards. You do not have to pretend differences don't exist. You do not have to agree with everything. But if there is a purpose worth protecting, there may also be a reason to find a way to stand together. And in life, this is the purpose that we have worth protecting. Life. And how we make it tomorrow, the next day. This caste system that we put upon this world is not good. Colorism, racism, all these isms that are out here are not serving us. They're serving the people that are in control. And you can't control anything with the heart and the brain, with your voice. They have been controlling us with systems. And when you want to change, I've seen young people feed hundreds of thousands of children, and then they got rid of them. They fed them daily, and they were building something great by feeding children even. We got to be better. We got to lead by example, and we got to take the example of the people that accomplished something, even if it meant their demise, because we're not here forever anyway. But working together is something we passed for generations and generations. We need to work together, people. Unity is all that we have that we can control. This chaos, the 1% running the whole world, that must end. But it starts with you. That's where it starts. We can work together, we can sing together, we can unify for a better purpose. Today is the day to start. Not tomorrow. We don't want to think about that too long. Difference doesn't mean divided. When we stop demanding sameness and start practicing cooperation, our differences can be a part of our strength. That is unity. I've been preaching unity my whole life. And people talk about it, but they don't be about it. One day, soon, hopefully, I'll see it in my lifetime. The world will change for the better because we will take our place as a community, as a world, and work together. Y'all have a great day. Believe in yourself. This has been Controlled, episode 85, Unity. I am Master Christian. Your co-host already dipped out, Susie Spang. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. Help others. Work together. United we stand. Divided we don't have a chance. Y'all have a great day. I am Master Christian. We out.